Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk. You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's Beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
It's Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I'm coming to you live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. You can watch and stream us live by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 1017 The Truth on YouTube. I got to do it myself. So you make sure you can watch Truth to Power and give us a like and also give us a subscription as we are trying to get to over 5,000 subscribers. And we're getting very close to 4,000 subscribers. Now, if you want to call in, text in, you can always go to call in at 833-212-1017. Shout out to my boy DJ Brother Z holding it down on the ones and the twos. And it's a beautiful Thursday outside. I had to start my day at Mayfair Mall, and I took the street instead of the freeway. So I basically took 76th Street all the way down. And, boy, let me tell you, boy, it is always an adventure, regardless of the day or the time, driving on the streets of Milwaukee. But Truth Nation, today I want to start off because I had something that happened in my life. So, you know what? I'm gonna do this, DJ Brother Z. I'm going to get this off my chest off the top.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Off the Top on Truth to Power. Kyle, let Truth Nation know what you got to get off your chest today.
Well, Truth Nation, I want to start off by saying I don't intend to offend anyone with this conversation. But if I do offend you, maybe the shoe fits. So my guys and I were chopping it up yesterday, you know, before he took a little vacation, a little getaway from his family. And he commented how he was flying out of Chicago. Now, as somebody who enjoys his frequent flyer miles, somebody who likes to fly, likes all the good credit card deals, to be able to, you know, get some points to be able to fly. You know, when he told me he's flying out of Chicago, I said, man, really? I said, I mean, is it really worth it? You got to leave early in the morning? He said, oh, I don't have to leave early in the morning. He said, I actually can park my car at my dad's house, who lives in Illinois. I said, oh, that is a genius idea. He said, yeah, and I'm so excited because I also get a chance to get a home-cooked meal. Now, the home-cooked meal, Truth Nation, this is the key part. Because as I mentioned before, this is an individual who has a family. He's just taking a little boys trip. And he's going to his dad's house, and he said his dad and his mom will be able to cook him a home-cooked meal. And so me being the person I am, in my mind, it started spinning. Spinning, because I said, okay, well, that's convenient, but dang. He has to drive all the way down to Chicago to his parents' house to get a home-cooked meal when he got a woman at home. Now, okay, I understand men and women cook, and a lot of people in different households cook, my household included. But, of course, this got my mind going because I love my girl, and I appreciate everything that she does, but I'll be lying. I will be lying, Truth Nation, and you probably be lying too if I ain't never had a conversation, a discussion in my household about cooking, about getting a home-cooked meal once in a while, right? I might ask for a home-cooked meal every day, and a lot of us men ain't ask for it every day, but I just once in a while, maybe once a week, maybe a couple times a month, getting a nice home-cooked meal. So I decided, let me do some digging, do a little bit of research to see whether or not this was something that is prevalent amongst this generation and other millennial men, or maybe you Gen Z men, or maybe even some of you Gen X men experience the same thing that some people started experiencing. So I went ahead and I texted some group chats that got some different dudes in it. And one of the group chats, when I asked them, I said, hey, how often do you get home-cooked meals per week? The first response I got was LOL. The next response I got was, oh, this is funny. I see where you're going, but I don't think it's good to go there. And so I got it. I got the message. And then in my other group chat, they said, well, you know, we've had this discussion, so we try to focus maybe once a week or maybe twice a week, but we try, you know, it's conversations that we had. And so, Truth Nation, I think we have an epidemic at our hands, and I think these millennial age and Gen Z wonderful women don't cook enough. I don't think they cook enough for their man no more like they used to back in the day. Now, I understand that we live in a more progressive time. I get it. Women work. People don't really subscribe to the household roles as much as they used to. But I think about my mom, who was a working woman, but she still cooked for the family. Now, not as much as my dad probably wanted or whether he liked. But I feel like every generation, from my perspective, again, Truth Nation, I could be wrong. I'm just giving my perspective. If you have your own thoughts, 833-212-1017, you can chime in, text in. Or you can watch and stream us live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Now, I'm trying to figure out if from each generation, just a little bit each year, each generation not went downhill a little bit, but the women started cooking a little less. I mean, did they start cooking just a little bit less, going from the greatest generation, silent generation, the baby boomers, down to Gen X, down to millennials, now down to Gen Z, where people ain't cooking as much? Because that's what I want to know. Why are women not cooking like they used to, and do men still want women to cook? It's just so many questions that I have. I'm going to ask these two brothers who are in the studio with me. For those who they've had women in their lives, DJ Ricky, since you close to the mic, when you had a woman in your life or have a woman in your life, does she cook for you often?
Yeah.
That's good. Like every day, a night home cooked meal.
No, I would say about 3, maybe 4 times a week.
Oh, damn. You got to cook four times a week.
Well, we got kids.
What she cook?
We used to live with each other. This is my baby mama, so.
Oh,
we got kids in the house.
Okay. All right. That's good. So again, this might just be something that only a few of us are experiencing, but it's just something that I had on my mind, right? 833-212-1017. Are these new age women not cooking full dinners for their men like they should be? Or are we good where we at? Because when I think about it, right, like as society has evolved, I do believe we need to subscribe to more traditional gender roles, because I'm a traditional guy. And when I talk about traditional gender roles, I firmly do believe men and women can do anything that they want, different roles. Like I truly do believe that you don't have to subscribe to that. But in my personal beliefs, when I think about an overall household, the way I was raised, right, the Wallace household, I'm okay with certain gender roles. Like there are some non-negotiables for me and my girl inside the house that we have. And when it comes to shoveling the snow, when it comes to doing any type of heavy yard work, like maybe moving dirt, digging up some stuff, uprooting some stuff, cutting weeds, cutting grass, putting up Christmas lights, when it comes to all of the outside labor, I firmly believe that men should be doing that. Taking the garbage out, climbing up a ladder. Like, I believe women can do it, but I firmly believe in the fact that there should be traditional gender roles. Women don't need to be doing that heavy lifting if they got a man in the house. That's just the way that I look at it. And I talk to my girl all the time. She talking about, I love cutting grass. I said, I get it, baby. But I can't have you outside cutting grass when the people in the house know that there's a man inside the house that can cut the grass. That's just me. Again, to each their own. But that's just what I subscribe to in my household. But then on the flip side, when it comes to where I see women's roles at, again, to each their own, I see it as a woman is the queen of the castle, the casa, inside the house. So when it comes to the stuff around the house, whether it's the interior design and the way the house is set up and the pictures that are up or the couches that we purchase or all the different things that we have, or we both clean the house, don't get it twisted. But yeah, she cleans a little bit more. She does a little bit more of that, but I'm okay with that. Because the castle that I get a chance to sleep in and lay in, she takes great care of it and she thrives at it. Now, let me tell you something about this about my woman. My woman, she leans to the left. So she definitely believes in women can do this, women can do that. And I think women can do a lot of different things. But I do believe that, there should be certain gender roles that we have. And I think cooking is one of them that men and women can cook. Don't get it twisted. But I just think it's nice if, this generation of women would cook just a tad bit more. Just a tad bit more for their kings. But I'll say this, shame on me for the patriarchal ideas that I may have. But one thing we do know is that a lot of these straight women who are into men, they love them a man who can take care of things, who can take care of things around the house that make them feel protected, that make them feel comforted, make them feel safe. Because that's what a lot of women are looking for inside of a partner. They're looking for a companion, but they're also looking for somebody they can trust, right? A lot of them don't need to be taken care of financially because women are excelling at such high levels financially, is that it's not even about the financial security. It's about the household security. It's about having a partner and being part of a team. Somebody who they can walk in public with, where they know they got a teammate right there to stand right behind them. Women like that. Women like looking at their man do things for them. That's just the bottom line of what it is. And so, yes, I do subscribe to some traditional things. And personally, I believe, y'all know where my stances are, I believe more democratic, liberal, progressive-minded men like myself should make these type of statements, because right now you got these bravado, fake wannabe conservative men trying to act like this is what a man's supposed to be, when in reality, I think it's okay for more progressive-minded men like myself, moderate-minded men like myself, when it comes to my policies and my politics, to make these statements and it'd be okay. It's okay to subscribe to a traditional household and still be a man that votes in a way that we want to uplift the community. Still be in a way that a man that votes to make sure that people have access to health care. A person that votes to make sure that the LGBTQ community has every single right to do what they want with their bodies and their lifestyle without being persecuted. So I think more men like myself should speak up and say, damn it, we want to eat a little bit more in the house. Because I thought that was crazy that this man drove all the way to Chicago to get a home-cooked meal. 833-212-1017. How often do you get a home-cooked meal at the crib? Again, this might just be me or some other people as well. And for anybody that might get offended, I don't want y'all to get offended whatsoever. I don't want y'all to get offended. I was triggered. I was triggered by this gentleman who has a whole family talking about getting a home-cooked meal. That's all I was saying. 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Prosperity555 said, this is the kind of biased question. In this economy, both men and women have to work. To put cooking on a specific gender is ridiculous. Both me and my kids, female and male, can cook, bake. My husband also likes to cook for me. I agree. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying, me personally, I I don't think I should be crucified for having a traditional mindset of the way that I see a household. I don't see anybody saying, oh, well, you don't let your girlfriend shovel the snow or cut the grass. No, I don't see y'all mad about that. But as soon as you start talking about the kitchen, everybody's offended. Everybody's mad. 833-212-1017. Dawn on the talking text line said, cook your own damn home-cooked meal. Make one for your female partner. You two are working. And I can't read the rest because it doesn't make sense. And then Wayne said, Kyle, first the USA isn't doing enough manufacturing. Now millennial women ain't cooking enough. He said, make cooking great again. I listen, I'm just saying. I just see it as a move that I personally like. It is what it is. Like in my house, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm good where we at. I'm good where we at because I feel like she has trained me, and when she do cook nice home cooked meals, they're always delicious, but I understand how busy people are. Like, I get it. I just feel like that might be one of the things where I grew up going to my grandma and grandpa's house, and my grandpa was to cook in the house. So my grandpa was to cook in one side, and my grandma was to cook in the other side. And so I always remember when I got home, not from school, I got picked up from my parents, and I went to one grandparent's house. Though my grandpa cooked, the person that made my plate was my grandma. And then I went to my other grandma's house. My grandpa was deceased, but my grandma was always cooking. I went there, and my grandma made me my plate of food when I was a kid, right? Like, those are the things that I was raised with that I think are okay. We shouldn't stray away from that. Don't let politics, don't let far-left liberals, don't let society tell you that you cannot subscribe to something and still vote a certain way, because that's where I feel like we're at. That's where I feel like we are at. And people are ashamed to say these kind of things. I ain't. I'm not ashamed at all. And I love my baby, and we have a great thing going that I'm good with. But she know how I feel. But I just thought it was interesting that when I asked some of the men who I know about a home-cooked meal, it was kind of crickets. 833-212-1017. Al, Lisa, Tyrone, I see y'all. We're going to get to y'all on the other side as we're having a conversation talking about what happened to the traditional lifestyle that we used to have, and should we be aiming to go back to that? Should we be aiming to go back to where a man took care of the things around the house that had to be fixed, or took care of the things on the yard and the women take care of inside of the house? Or is that too chauvinist, or is that putting women down, which I don't believe that it is? 833-212-1017. I see y'all texts. I see your calls. We'll get to that on the other side. This is Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. And I guess I'm a chauvinist here on 1017 The Truth. I'll be back.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on June 17th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Chicago Cubs.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in June 17th at 7:05 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check out your local listings to watch the game.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent, as an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Need to look sharp for graduation? You need
the $100 hookup.
Want to get decked out for prom? Get the
$100 hookup.
An incredible deal that includes a marvelous suit, shirt, tie, shoes, all for $100. Only at Nick Avani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Avani's. Get hooked up today at Nick Avani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickavani's.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We believe that self-care isn't selfish. I'm Maddie from Sweet Talks, a women-owned and operated medical spa fostering self-love and confidence. We believe that beauty is about feeling empowered from within, and it's truly a passion for our team at Sweet Talks. Your goals are our goals. Our services go beyond injectables, including facials, lasers, medical weight loss, hormone therapy, and more. There's even a cafe, complimentary to all patients. Get started today at Sweet Talks in Menominee Falls. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
You are listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app. Catch Truth to Power every weekday from noon to 1 p.m.
Get in the kitchen. This is Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host, Kyle Walls of Truth to Power. And I was having a conversation because I was triggered. And again, I just want y'all to understand, I love women. I feel like women can do whatever they want. Men can do whatever they want. Y'all don't have to subscribe to this. But as I was saying, I was triggered yesterday when I was having a conversation with one of my guys who was heading out for a vacation, leaving his family for a little bit. And he was excited about going to Chicago to fly out because he gets a home-cooked meal. Now, this is a man that got a whole family and was excited to drive an hour and 15 minutes to finally get a home-cooked meal. And so I said, damn, that's what I said. I said, damn, but the thing I said, I get meals. Me and my girl, we got this thing figured out. And when she do cook meals, it's fantastic. So it's wonderful. But I said, damn, that's crazy. Because I ain't going to lie, I go to my parents' house sometimes to get a home-cooked meal as well. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Truth Nation. If I need somewhere to stay, DJ Brother Z, y'all got some room I can potentially stay at. Because just in case I come home and my stuff on the front lawn, y'all know what happened. But I just want to ask y'all, like, 833-212-1017, should we subscribe to more traditional roles? Because I know I'm talking about home-cooked meals, but I'm also a man. When I look at the world and I look at my household, and again, I voted for Barack Obama twice. I voted for Hillary Clinton. I voted for Joe Biden, and I voted for Kamala Harris. I voted for Tom Barrett when he ran against Scott Walker. I voted for Tom Barrett again when he ran against Scott Walker in the recall election. I voted for Mary Burke as well. Listen, I vote blue. I vote blue, but I have this traditional mindset, and I feel like as a person who votes blue, having this traditional mindset gets you in some hot water. But 833-212-1017. I see y'all in the YouTube chat. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube. You guys have some great responses. I want to definitely get to your responses about modern women, about this generation. What happened? Why don't women cook like they used to for their man? Why don't they want to serve their man like they used to when I talk about cooking in the kitchen? I ain't going to lie to you. Every time my baby do cook, or I come home and she cooks something real quick, because she cook now. It's just sometimes it's quick. It's not no full meal. I love when I come home and all she do is make my plate. Oh, I feel like a king. I feel like a king, whether it's a salad, whether it's just a nice little rice mix that she make and add some chicken to it, whatever it is. I love when I sit down and my queen serve me. I do, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But 833-212-1017, should we subscribe more to traditional roles in the household? Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts is absolutely not.
Why is that?
Because, see, first of all, a lot of women don't really know how to cook, and a lot of men want to do the bare minimum and expect to have the full Monty. So y'all can be half and half. I can cook my own home-cooked meal. I can do soups, salads. I can do stews, brine my meat. I can do all of that.
Yeah.
But I think in this climate today, absolutely not. See, because back then, there was an expectation of women. Now today, y'all, they want the same expectation of women and bring in kibbles and bits.
What do you mean by that?
Absolutely not. Kibbles and bits?
Yeah.
That means by doing the bare minimum. The bare minimum.
Wait a minute. So how I feel like men nowadays do more than bare minimum, because back in the day, in the old households, back in the 50s and 60s, women had nothing to do but be at home because they couldn't go to work. But then on top of that, the men would go and have families in different places and treat women a certain way in the household. So I'm just saying, you're talking about the bare minimum. I have to disagree. I feel like
we're talking about today, though, Kyle. Today, men complain.
A lot of
the women, you got to do this. Why you can't make your own plate?
We can, though, Al.
She's at work.
Al, we can make our own plate. But Al, would you have your woman outside cutting grass, shoveling snow, hanging up Christmas lights, digging holes in the ground?
You're damn right, because this is 100% equality right here. Don't. If I gotta do everything and I gotta think for you, I could be by my damn self. If you know I'm not there, you better start that damn lawnmower up and the next time it's time. See, that's the problem. See, everybody. So what happens when the man can't be the man, and then the woman got to step in?
Well, then she step in that way, or you can pay for a service, Al. I mean, listen.
No.
Equality.
No, we ain't doing no pay for no service. No, we're talking about equality.
Okay.
If you want a home cooked meal, you get in there and rattle them plates.
All right.
If she gonna cook a home cooked meal, she get in there. But no, we don't need no tradition, because then it's gonna go back to egos, and you know men are very, very fragile. So let's not do that. We don't need that in today's economy. What if the woman makes more money as the man then?
That don't mean nothing. Money shouldn't equate to that.
Yes, it does.
Money shouldn't equate to
yes, it does.
Oh, wow.
Because if he ain't popping them dollars and she got the credit, the house, the car, and you want to come in and be the king, no, you better step them yams up.
And my mama wasn't
talking
listening.
About equality.
If my mama wasn't listening, I tell you, my mama told me she was listening to the show because we went to dinner last night.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. My auntie,
What about your auntie Al?
Look, my auntie, she was married, and she was married, and she had 3 other men, and them men did everything she want.
Damn.
So all I'm telling you in this climate right now, if one wants the bare minimum and the other one can't cook, y'all right where y'all need to be. Have a good day.
Al always shares some interesting insights. I mean, equality. Yeah, I'm all for equality. 833-212-1017. Lisa, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts here on the conversation?
Hey, Kyle. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
I'm traditional. Look, my house.
My queen.
My house. My pantry, my kitchen, my laundry room, my living room, dining room, I control that. I control everything in my house. Now, you, as the man, you go do what you're supposed to do, because my father always told me he would never want to be a woman. That's the hardest thing in this world to be, is a woman.
Facts.
He never wanted to be a woman. He said, because a woman, let me tell you something. I own my houses. The last house I owned was 3,200 square feet. Let me tell you something. I mowed. I shoveled the snow. I didn't put up the Christmas lights when I celebrated Christmas. I paid somebody to do it, and that wasn't cheap. Trying to do a Christmas light for the square foot, 3,200 square. I didn't do the back, but I just did the front. Okay, I had to line up my bushes. I had to edge everything, curve everything, fix the water heater, everything, the heater. Whatever goes wrong in that house, I had to pay for. I had to figure out how to repair my garbage disposal, unless I'm going to pay somebody $109 to do it. No, I pulled up YouTube and figured it out. It's not easy.
I used YouTube.
It is not easy. So I would prefer for a man to do that. Let him do the thing. Let him do the yard. Okay, well, now, okay, do the yard. So now I got the gardening and stuff. I got to do my flowers and everything. Don't touch that part. But do everything else. Rake the leaves, and I've done all of that. And that is not easy. Then I got to cook for the kids. And look here. When am I going get a break. Why you think women so angry? Black women so angry because they tired of doing everything. Do y'all black men not understand that? And then if I get a man in a house and he just want to put his feet up and not do anything, are you crazy? But you know what? You choose that. You chose him. I would never, ever choose that. I'm like, look here, player. You go on out there. You do what you're supposed to do. I got the house. I got to do I'm the banker. I'm the teacher. I'm the housewife. I'm your woman. Your woman in the bedroom. You know, whatever. I'm all of that in one. In one. When my fiance used to come home, he said I had his food on the table ready. I would take his shoes off and I would massage his feet while he eats.
The 7 verses 16.
Keep going, Lisa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's standing for 8 hours, 7.5 hours. Woo! Yeah, you got to learn. And you know what? He appreciated me just like I appreciated him.
How'd you rub his feet?
Period. You know, I took off his shoes and I would just massage his feet. Massage his feet, he eating or whatever. You know, whatever.
While he was eating?
You know, while he was eating. You know, the dishes are already washed. When he's sitting down, everything is. I just like to be in order. I schedule my stuff. Yeah, you have to schedule your life. If you put everything together, you won't have to worry about being overloaded, tired, and everything. He had worked third shift. I'm chilling.
Lisa, I'm gonna let you go there, but my goodness, Lisa, you need to write a book. You need to get a YouTube. You need to get a podcast, because this needs to be the podcast from Lisa for the modern day woman to let them know that you worked hard, you did all this, but when your man came home from work, you rubbed his feet, you made sure his plate was ready, you made sure the house was clean, you made sure the bed was made, you made sure his castle was waiting for him. Lisa!
Make him happy. Make him happy. He'll make you happy.
Lisa, I love you, Lisa. Have a good one, Lisa. Zach, go ahead and cut that so I can send it to all the women out here so they know that it can be done. And baby, I know you listen. I love you, but it can be done. I'm just playing. Let me stop. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Walls. I'll get some more calls on the other side. I'll read your text as well, and then we got to shift gears at some point. But 833-212-1017. Do you all believe that we should move to more traditional way of life, the way men and women interact inside of the household? Do you subscribe to traditional gender roles? This is all started when somebody I know was taking a vacation away from their family, and he was flying out of Chicago. And when he was flying out of Chicago, he made a comment that, hey, I'm going to stop at my parents' house before I go because I finally get a home-cooked meal. And that was shocking to me. So 833-212-1017. Matter of fact, before we go to break, real quickly, Tyrone, you're on award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation? Uh-oh. Tyrone, in 3, 2.
Am I coming through?
I got you. What's cracking like a lacking?
All right. What's cracking like a lacking, man? I had to get me a sip of something. I thought I was going to have to sit through another commercial.
No, I got you.
All right. What's cracking like a lacking. I'm outside, man. I'll tell you, man, Lisa spit a lot there, you know. I was long-winded, too, and you was long-winded coming in with the off the top. But I'll tell you, I'll vote for you any day of the week, man, Kyle. You can tell Ben and Brad that and them, too.
Yeah.
And Stroke, too. I'm voting for you off the top. But I'll say, what's up, Banana? What's up there, boo? Birthday to my neighbor, Miss Deborah. Birthday's for Big Benjamin on tomorrow. And can't forget Prince. You know, me, Michael Jackson, and Prince born the same year. So Prince tomorrow, me July 28th, and Michael August 29th.
All right.
All three of us. Yeah.
Well,
but anyway.
Yeah. Well.
I'm gonna, you know, because Lisa spent a lot. What's up there, Lisa girl? Yeah, that's a lot, you know.
Right, Tyrone.
You and Atlanta Bananas the same. I mean, y'all got to go Atlanta Bananas.
Tyrone, real quick. There's a saying we say in radio. Don't bore us. Get to the course.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, look here. My oxtail stew. Man, I have women all in my yard and stuff. Barbecuing is like this. I love a lot of sauce on mine. Ooh. And my smoked turkey wings, I let them caramelize in onions there to where it's crunchy onions, and the skin is nice and crunchy.
I like crunchy skin. Thank you, Tyrone. I like crunchy skin. 833-212-1017. We'll continue this conversation on the other side. I also heard from one of our good teammates, Noni Juice, and she let me know, and Benjamin from Jim with Juice in the morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on 101.7 The Truth. They let me know about their traditional households, and I'll tell y'all about that coming up next. Keep it locked. You're listening to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Home runs from Isaac Collins, Daz Cameron, and Jackson Churio powered the Brewers to the 9-1 win over the Reds in Game 3. They win that series 2 out of 3 games, now sitting at 5 games over 500 at 34-29. They'll begin a series Friday night at American Family Field against the San Diego Padres. Over to the NBA, where Game 1 of the NBA Finals is set to tip off this evening. The Oklahoma City Thunder will play host to the Indiana Pacers. That tip-off is set for 7:30. And lastly, over to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers will wrap up their offseason organized team activities this afternoon. Next up is a mandatory minicamp to conclude the offseason program, which is slated for June 10th. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It is Truth to Power on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on 101.7 The Truth on YouTube.
P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean, man? I-N-D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Do you know what that mean? She got her own house. She got her own car. Told y'all work hard.
Truth Nation, violence is a problem that affects us all, but together we can make a difference. This is why we are hosting our third annual Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tory Lowe on Saturday, July 12th, from Victory Over Violence Park down MLK Drive right to our studio at the 3rd Street Market Hall. Over the next month, Tory Lowe will be speaking with politicians and community leaders about how we can better provide resources to stop the rise of violence. And also, just so you do know, tomorrow, Tory will be joined by Kent Laverne, the district attorney of Milwaukee County. They'll have a conversation about what they can do to help curb violence. So if you want to join the fight to stop violence, go to truthwalkagainstviolence.com right now to sign up for our Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I'm Kyle Wallace, the host of Truth to Power. And we've been having a conversation talking about traditional household roles, and it was triggered by the fact that I was having a conversation with one of my guys, and he's going on a vacation, and he's flying out of Chicago. He was excited to fly out of Chicago because he's going to spend the night at his parents' crib because he was going to get a home-cooked meal. And I was astonished that the man had to go all the way to Chicago when he got a wife and a kid at the crib to get a home-cooked meal. And it triggered my thought because, again, I love the way my household operates. I love my baby, but I can relate. I feel like I don't get, millennial men don't get enough home-cooked meals. 833-212-1017. Y'all chimed in. Y'all let me know that Al said he doesn't believe in that. He believes in equality, and others believe, like Lisa, believed in the fact that if your king is working all day, when he comes home to his castle, his feet should be rubbed and his plate should be ready to be placed in his hand. And also, I wanted to get a perspective from other millennials like myself to see if this is something they also face as well. And so I wanted to bring multiple perspectives. And so first I want to ask, because there's been a lot of male perspective, but first I want to ask a woman who is a millennial, Carrie Noni from Jamming with Juice in the morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. here on 1017 The Truth. Her co-star Ben Jammin is here. But I want to ask you, Carrie, because I don't want to be too harsh, but do you think millennial women cook enough for their men?
I think it's up to that particular relationship and household.
Okay, now you as a woman, you've been with your man for how long?
Some years.
Some years, over 5 years maybe?
You can say what you'd like, yeah.
Okay, so half a decade. So you've done something to keep him around. So I'm assuming, so what is your household? Do you cook for him every single day? Or?
I do not. We actually have Cook Unity now. Our meal prep service, we have been loving it for the past few weeks. And
so
it's
y'all
beautiful.
prep it. So y'all, instead of getting a home cooked meal, he get stuff shipped to his house and y'all pack it together.
Yeah, we heat it up and it's
Beta
good.
energy.
Excuse me? Say it again?
Beta energy.
Beta energy. Okay, for sure. Now, do you get home cooked meals?
Listen,
what's your energy like?
I got beta energy too, Carrie. So Ben Jammin also from Jamming with Juice. Ben Jammin from Jamming with Juice, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I want to know for you as a millennial man, when you get home from I've been work long days. He'll be here 6 to 6 sometimes, or 6 to 7 sometimes. He works long days, so I know the brother be tired. I know he hungry. I know he like to eat.
Love to eat.
You know he like to eat. So when you get home, how many times do you get a home cooked meal, Benjamin?
You know what? I'll put this out there to set the record straight. My girl cook at least once or twice a month. But am I coming home to a home cooked meal each and every day? No. And honestly, I kind of think, well, if I cook it, because I do a lot of the cooking at my crib, but I also do believe because traditional roles have changed, women are able to work jobs and things like that now.
Did your mama work a job?
She did.
Did she cook? Did she cook for y'all?
Not every day. She cooked on Sundays though when she was off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's when I get my home cooked meals from. My mama.
But I just feel like it could also be a nostalgic thing as well, because it's nothing like a home cooked meal from your mom or your grandma or those people who you grew up eating their food all the time. And it's not going to hit the same as your lady cooking her food. But it's also nothing wrong with a man being the main cook in the house.
No,
Some men like to do that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. I just feel like we've shifted away from being able to have
roles.
Yeah, like and I said it today on the show.
Men don't be doing their traditional roles like that either. A lot of these men and these millennial men and younger don't know how to change a tire. They know how to do nothing with no oil. They don't want to mow no lawns. They don't want to do anything.
You pay people to do that.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
But see, that's the thing, though. You know,
back in the day, it wasn't like that all the time.
I know how to change some oil on a car, but the next male wouldn't know how to. You know,
we all have shifted,
and we all have shifted. Like, you know, our responsibilities and roles have shifted. Like, I had a conversation with somebody in regards to when my girl had her car broke down. Car broke down, but however, Kyle, when her car broke down, she was in Illinois, right?
That's tough.
Yeah. Her car had broke down. Basically, it was just her tire went on the flat, right? Somebody had mentioned to me, why don't you just call AAA? Why you just call AAA? But I'm like, dog, this is my woman. Like, am I gonna have some other man come and change the tire for her, or is it gonna be me?
I'm sorry, if he's away and you all the way in Milwaukee or racing, and she in Illinois, I think that is.
Hey, but who else to question what his traditional roles are? And that's my whole thing.
I feel like from an older school mentality, they would have been like, that's my woman, that's my responsibility. I'm finna pull up and make certain that thing is good. Because otherwise, some other dude finna pull up, get the tow truck. Hey, she finna be riding passenger with him until he drop her off to me. What that look like?
Well, so my whole thing is
a worker.
Worker.
It's his job.
My big thing is when I think about it though, like I feel like in my household I was taught how to be a man, right? Mm-hmm. Like I was taught the things that I should be able to do. And so when I think about that, and not saying women were taught how to be women, don't get it twisted whatsoever. I just feel as we have evolved, I feel like the expectation of women cooking for a man is not something that is an expectation anymore. It's more of a treat, right? Yeah. So it's more of a treat for that, where it used to be the thing where growing up as a kid, you get a plate.
But they also back in the day didn't have all these new services that we have.
I mean, okay. All right.
Or Kyle, is it because we're seeing more black women not coming from the traditional households, not being shown how to treat a man?
Let's not start talking about race here. Let's not bring up what black women and white women do.
I'm just saying.
Because your friend that you were referring to, that's going on this vacation, are they with a black woman or a white woman?
He's a Caucasian man with a Caucasian woman.
Exactly. So what's up?
Okay, I'm just asking. It was a question I'm throwing out there.
No, because you sit over here just want to bash black women. You over here just want to bring up what black women got going on.
All right,
when I feel like it's a lot of women in general.
No, I agree with Carrie. I do think it is a woman thing in general, where a lot of women aren't doing that anymore, which, again, I think it's a good example to set. Like, in my household, when I do have children, like, I plan on setting an example is that, if I have sons, I'm going to let them know that when your mama walk in the door or your sisters walk in the door, you need to open that door. You need to be the protector of your... yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But you're going to come out... I'm not going to let my daughters rake the leaves. I'm not going to let my daughters cut the grass. They don't need to do that.
Are you going to force them to learn how to cook?
I'm going to say getting...
And who going to teach them?
It's a life skill.
Do your girl cook?
My girl knows how to cook. She just chooses not to cook consistently.
Okay, but I guess what I'm saying is...
But she always has something ready for me.
If you're going to force your boys to grow up to be men, are you saying that you want your daughter to grow up to be a woman and have those woman traits, traditional roles?
I prefer, but I don't have the final say on what happens with that.
But what if she comes to you and says you're pushing those boys too hard? I don't want you to make them into men like that.
I'm going to say that my man sees they Wallace boys, and this is what Wallace men do, period.
Okay.
And you also got to think about the influence of the culture as well, because a lot of young women are growing up listening to the Cardi B's. I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you how I got this ring with that WAP. So they focused on that now.
Maybe that's the new role model for the young women.
I hope not. I appreciate y'all joining me. I wanted to get y'all perspective. Benjamin and Carrie, it sounds like you guys are a reflection of the newer generation. And Ben, would you prefer a more traditional household or no? If you cook, do you expect her to clean the dishes?
Yeah, I do, and she does.
Okay,
so
y'all got your flow.
But personally, a flow, a balance. It has to be a healthy balance.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is.
Because again, to like what a lot of conversations with me and Carrie have or whatever, a lot more women these days have the option to be a career woman. And
I don't think being a career woman is an excuse not to cook, though.
I agree,
because a man can be a career man. What are you looking at me like that for, Carrie? People have been working all the time.
Okay, no. Well, who?
Women have been working since at least the 60s and 70s, for sure. Definitely in the mid 60s and 70s. Women have been working.
When we say traditional, when did that even come about?
We talking
about
the 1950s.
I mean, you're talking about the era when
actually pre 1960. That's like right around then. That's the women that people are referring to when they're talking about.
And they were working?
No, they were stay-at-home moms.
Okay.
And then it kind of evolved. And again, I grew up in a household where my mom didn't cook every single day, but she cooked a lot of the days. She did. But then my grandma, she worked. My grandma worked, but she still cooked. Both my grandmas worked. One did
Well,
not
it
cook.
sounded to
The
me
other
like
one
you
was
need to go on home to your mama so she can make you
Now
your
she
meals.
mad. Now she mad. That's the lash out.
Though. That's the millennial attitude.
That's
Go on back to your mama then.
So does your man, Carrie, before we go, does your man ever, does he kind of be like, hey, it'd be nice to have like a home cooked meal once in a while? Or
He's never pressured me, no.
But you've had a conversation.
Telling you he want one, though.
Of course he would want one.
But no, have y'all had the conversation about, hey, it'd be nice to have a home cooked meal once in a while?
No.
You know we don't express our feelings.
No.
We just be like, oh, okay. Well, that's how
Yeah,
you
no,
move on.
he hasn't.
Not me.
I know one time he told his granny that I be starving him. And I told him, don't you ever say that again. I said, don't you ever say that again.
Yeah, that man starving. He is starving.
He was just playing, but
No, he wasn't just playing.
grannies don't be grannies will take that serious. Like, oh, you starving my baby?
You thought that brother was losing weight because he's trying to cut weight? No, the Negro hungry.
Facts.
He hungry.
Facts. He don't got no other option.
You meal prepping him with portions. The man get only like an ounce of meat, a little salad.
Our meals that we got are full servings, baby. Okay.
He be sitting there hungry, looking for a second plate.
No, you
be
get
playing with his food.
No,
that's for the bar.
I need to get with some cooking.
My man ain't had no leftovers in 5 years, man. Poor guy.
Don't need to. We got enough money to make sure we eating every day. That's
Here
all
we
I'm
go.
saying.
Bottom line, Carrie, he want a home cooked meal, bro.
Okay.
I know that for a
He
fact.
done told his granny.
He's not. I'm not saying that he wouldn't, but he doesn't put that pressure on me because we make what works for our relationship.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because we gotta go to break. I'm just gonna say this. It is messed up that this man, she know her man want a home cooked meal, and she said, I mean, he don't pressure me, so I ain't gonna do it. Golly,
y'all are taking it too serious
just like
because
Not Really a City
he
Girl
was
said,
just playing, bro.
No, Not Really a City Girl said it. She said if he told his granny, he told the truth. Okay, that's what that was.
My girl just texted me, said exactly, Carrie.
Yeah, exactly, girl.
She said
millennial women
exactly.
need to stop.
You need to go on back to your mama.
But we love y'all.
Go back to your
We
mama.
love y'all regardless. 833-212-1017. Thank you so much to Jamming with Juice, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Ben Jamming, Carrie Noni. Make sure y'all tune in Monday through Friday to listen to Jamming with Juice. We gonna wrap up the show on the other side.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget, and right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Need to look your best for a special occasion? You need
the $100 hookup.
This incredible deal includes a marvelous suit, shirt, and tie, all for $100. Only at Nick Cavani's, home of the
$100 hookup.
And that isn't limited to some standard stock suit. You'll be pleased by the top quality and variety of fashion offered at Nick Cavani's. No matter the occasion, maybe you're just ready for a fresh, new stylish look. Get hooked up today at Nick Cavani's in Mayfair Mall and at nickcavani's.com.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account?
Just know at Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances, yes to rebuilding credit, yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
Summer in Milwaukee is nonstop. Festivals, live music, and fresh city vibes fill the season you already know. From world-famous cultural celebrations to hidden gem street fairs, every neighborhood is a stage, alive with handcrafted traditions, homegrown talent, and world-class entertainment. Music, flavor, culture, whenever you visit, the Cream City is ready to celebrate. This summer, don't just visit. Make sure you experience Milwaukee, the city of festivals.
It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
One, two, three, ho!
It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am your host of Truth to Power, Kyle Wallace, and I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in and tapping in as we had a conversation just talking about traditional gender roles and moving back in the direction of having traditional gender roles. And I'll say this right now, is that whatever suits your household is for your household. But I think it is okay for people to subscribe to traditional gender roles and not be crucified for it. I did get another at 833-212-1017. Somebody said here on the text line, all of things happening in the country and in the world, this is what you want to talk about and focus on. Absolutely, because I think we got to have a little bit of fun. But more importantly, when I just think about things that we want, I think that people who are like myself, who again, I am a staunch, moderate individual. I vote blue. I vote blue, but I subscribe to a traditional lifestyle. I subscribe to traditional household things that we do, and I don't think there's a problem with that, right? I don't think there's a problem to expect for a woman to take care of the inside of the house. I don't think it's a problem for a woman to have to do a little bit more cleaning than a man. It's a team effort, but I don't think that's an issue. I don't think it's an issue for a woman to have a home-cooked meal waiting for their man, not because they have to do it, because they love to do it. Anytime my girls serve me my plate, I love it. And I don't think it's a problem for a man to say, woman, if you don't sit your behind down and let me go cut this grass, let me go take care of this yard, let me go take care of this snow, let me go take care of all this stuff outside, let me make sure these bills is paid on time, let me make sure you ain't got to worry about all this stuff. That's called a partnership, right? That is what a partnership is. Now, whatever that looks like for you or somebody else, that's y'all. But I don't think that we need to start shaming people for believing in the old ways that we used to do things, the way that we saw our grandparents or parents do. I think that's okay. We should get back to doing something like that if that fits for you. This has been Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. The Tori Lowe Show is up next. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow from the American Family Insurance Championship in Madison. Peace out. This is 1017 The Truth. Kyle Wallace.